what is going on? It's DJ Crowley, and of course, Blue is in the house as well. And it's time for a late night simmer down chat with the Loving Paupers. Budman, Kelly, hello, how are you?
Guys.
What's happening, guys? Blue and Alex, nice to see you. Thanks for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. And Jorge said something that kind of stuck with me. If you don't like us in the first 5 minutes, you're not going to like us. We do our thing, we stay in that lane. If you don't like it, the next spans in 45 minutes. Fortunately, we loved your music within 5 minutes. Uh, Tell us about the Loving Poppers and how this thing got started, and then we're going to get deep and wild. How about that?
There was an already established band with the majority of the poppers, maybe almost 8 years ago. And myself and the bass player were
Darko.
sought out from prior relationships in the band. And so we've become now a family. And maybe our first two records were our individuality separately, but it's so beautiful to see as we go that we kind of mesh. And Budman one time said to me, we're a band, like as in a rubber band, like we're all together. When you see these relationships, it's so interesting when you play music with people, you kind of see the intimate and vulnerable self that we typically hide because we have to like expose ourselves in what we're doing musically. And that's what brings the band so close so quickly. And I'm just so ecstatic and honored to be part of something so genius, really. Like,
Ooh,
Sure,
love
yeah,
that.
as
very.
a fan as well, I'm like, I'm a fan of every single person in the band, and every show is different.
That's so vitally important. I mean, spoken word right there. Some of the things you just said. It is so important to love everyone that you are playing music with because not only are you making music with them, but you're on the road with them. You are playing shows with them. You are in dicey environments at times with them. What a wonderful thing to say about just to
True.
open up, you know?
Yeah, they're my best friends.
The Loving Paupers is a cool band and a collective of really just talented musicians that have grown up together and worked together and come from different sorts of places, but from the same place, I guess you'd say. Jorge and Dan and Kelly are really the songwriting core of the band. Dubmaster Dan writes these lines, and I mean, I want to make ringtones out of them. Honestly, I mean, I love every one of them. I
That's so
want it to.
funny.
I mean, each song has its own sort of life and um, its own sort of being. Uh,
Totally. I love that.
Hmm.
um, and yeah, I mean, we're passionate about what we do. We're passionate about reggae music and stylistically. So yeah, Jorge and Dan and Kelly are the majority songwriters there. Tarko, I mean, our bass player, Happy Independence Day, Canada. I forget how to say it in French. Sorry, French
Yeah, he told
Canadians.
us.
Um, he's a bad bassy man. He knows everything front to back. He lays it down hard. And we got Curtis on drums, and he's the what does Jorge call him? I forget. I think he calls him the Lord. Follow the Lord.
The
You
Lord.
know,
Oh,
he's our metronome man, and me and him and I, we lock in hard percussion and drums, and then I brought my buddy Luke in, and he's our organ player, Bubble. double
I'm also gonna
bubble.
say that some of the guys in the band have known each other for like, I don't know, so long, maybe even 20 years.
Wow.
Like, I know Mark, the bassist, and Jorge, the guitarist, were friends in high school, and I think Curtis too has
Yeah,
known
their band in
for a
DC
long
was called
time.
their band in DC back in the day was called the Decepticons.
I heard that earlier in an interview. The Scott that's the I can't remember what the name of the show was, but he was talking about the Decepticons and the purple
Oh
bus
yeah.
that they used
Yeah, it
to
was like
have.
22 minutes of ska. Yeah, yeah, like Decepticons are really fundamental local ska that if you like ska, you know. So
Mhm.
it's
Jock band.
just so interesting to be.
Dude, I was in middle school listening to Jock Man. Come on, I loved it. I knew I was listening
That
to
is the
Decepticons.
Decepticon
Hell yeah.
song. That's cool. I was
Yeah.
like, of course they gave me the CDs, and then I love them. But yeah, I know the words. Yeah, it's
I met Jorge and Dan as well as the drummer in this band. You guys know.
Pie tasters, yes.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Jorge was in the Pie Tasters and Dubmaster Dan is in the Pie Tasters and I was the drummer in the Pie Tasters for a few years. So was Curtis was also drummer in the Pie Tasters on a few tours and we're all DC reggae cats, man. We just that's how we roll.
So let's talk about DC. Really one of my least favorite places and favorite places in the world. Musically, it's pretty magical. One of our all-time favorites, Stevie Corporation. There's so many, and it goes on and on. There's so many things that are happening within that little area. I mean, you guys are DC, Baltimore area, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. Tell us about living there and making art there and how that goes.
it's a good question. Um, it also ties in with working here and living here in general, but it's such a melting pot of like any individual from all over the world who wants to, um, I'd say like politically being, I don't know, I say that's the main theme, but when you live here, you meet people, all walks of life. And it's just surprising to see how similar and how different we are. And
Mhm.
that's not like even talking musically, but I've noticed as a scene, as a DC scene, you also like as you fall in love and have relationships with the music that is like widely popular and sold to you or that you're invested in, like you also fall in love with that music that your friends have made or that that are local that you start following that have like kind of a relative thinking because they've spent some time here, and that is so amazing because you can have like a favorite song that you're sharing with a million people and a favorite song that you're sharing with only 100 people, and that's all I have to say about that.
You
Kelly
have
is very poetic this evening.
She
Yes,
is poetic
I'm
this
liking it.
evening.
I mean,
Wow.
in terms of DC music, I mean, look, man, it's you know, I mean, let me give a big shout out to the Godfather Chuck Brown real quick. I mean,
Mm.
DC Go Go is like none other. Nobody outside of DC really understands it.
True.
Um, but we love it, man. You guys know who Chuck Brown is? You know who I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean,
I
you're
mean,
dropping legends. I mean,
and then in terms of you know, other DC music, I mean, you know, the whole punk scene that came out of DC,
Mhm.
um,
Totally.
Ian MacKaye, you know, all the Bad Brains. I
Yeah.
mean,
HR, I mean, yeah,
HR,
absolutely.
he's
Yeah.
rolling around, man. Yeah.
Did you hear his newest
Fugazi.
record? Did you hear that new record? HR's new record?
I did, yeah.
Oh, we got it, man. It blew me away. Ted from Pacifier produced it, which blew me away too. There's so much
Hey man,
family. It's happening.
There's some really cool reggae going on in DC too. We play with
Mhm.
some cool reggae bands. The whole DC Baltimore scene is just, yeah, I mean, it's fun, man. We have a good time. I mean, it's funny. I was playing in a band called the Shifters in DC for quite a while. We did a reggae, rock steady, ska type of thing. And we would always get put on bills with punk rock bands,
Mhm.
And I don't know. I guess they probably do that in lots of places, but it felt, you know, what you come to little club on Georgia Avenue and see the Shifters and Cop Stabber, man, and we would just put on some crazy punk rock reggae show, and everybody's, having fun and thrashing to the punk and grooving to the rock steady, and it's just that's the scene, man. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, man, but definitely that's how we roll in DC, man.
I like how you guys are rolling already here. We're digging this. If you're just tuning in, you are late. Late, late. But that's okay. We got the Loving Paupers in the house, DC, Baltimore, that little area, that very special musical place, our very artistic place as well. I want to move up north into New York and talk about Easy Star and your music a little bit here.
Sure, sure.
Uh, Lemon Eric and that whole crew, uh, big up, Easy Star Records, just always defying genre boundaries.
Man, they've
Uh,
been
just
great to us,
amazing.
man. We love Lemon Erica. They've been really great with us, and uh, you know, we we've been friends with Victor Rice for um quite a while now, and that's how, he's big part of that Easy Star crew. I mean, I don't know, I mean, who I'm talking to here, but Dub Side of the Moon was like, you know,
Mm.
I think it was definitely a big thing for me in the time. Kelly, do you know that record?
Yes, yes. And well, I'm so sorry, but the Beatles,
Yeah, they did
Was the
Sergeant
Sergeant Pepper.
Pepper. Yep,
Oh
yep.
yes,
I, of course, listened
Lonely
to that when
Dub.
I was
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
And so this is a dream come true for me. And then you find out like how kind and sweet they are. And like I feel like part of the family. And like I said to them, if I get an email, about some statistic or interview we're doing, it's like just such a rush. I just still can't believe it on some level.
Dude, Dub Side of the Moon is a fantastic record. Victor Rice, big part of that, and um, yeah, I mean, how many records did they sell? I mean, tons. They put them on the map, man.
A
That was a
million
great record,
bazillion.
and that was a great record, and it's
I
actually
didn't
funny
know that.
too. Oh yeah,
Big
that
record
that
Dumb
record
Side of the Moon.
that record went big. Yeah, it was great.
That's
It
so
was really
awesome.
great.
And
And
Victor's
and
a
when
monster.
when I started talking to Lem and Eric too, they were, they had just done the Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Dub Club, or
For
what they
real?
called it, and they knew me. They knew of me because Luke and I in the Loving Paupers, big
No
shout out,
way.
big shout out to our other band, the Yellow Dub Marine. If you guys like Beatles reggae music.
no way. I know those guys. Get out of here, Yellow Submarine. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's me. I'm on percussion in Yellow Dub Marine, and Luke's a keyboard player, lead
We've
singer.
met before, bro.
Oh yeah,
In Knoxville. You guys came to
nice.
Knoxville and played Barley's back in the day.
Yeah, that must have been
Huh.
2011, maybe
Yes.
2010 or 2011, something like that.
Yellow Submarine dropping names. Get out of here. What a small world. That was a
Hey, right on.
killer project, man.
We're
Yeah.
still doing it, man. We're still out here, man. We're still
No,
15
man.
years later. We're still doing it.
So, okay, so we're in New York.
Hmm.
Lemon Eric and the gang are like, we want you. You're on our team now. And when that happens, you're family forever. Like
Totally.
Easy Star, your family, get ready because the family's always better together, especially with Easy Star Records and that crew. They are some of our favorite people to work with, and the artists that they choose are people like you guys, people that are different, people that are making something different happen, a unique sound, a unique moment, anything. So you guys rocking on Easy Star. Let's talk about your music. I usually don't ask this question, but I
Mm.
want to hear from you guys. I know what a pauper is. It's somebody who's poor. Why did you name yourself the Loving Paupers?
This is a song title of Gregory Isaacs,
Mhm.
which we also cover. Um, of course, we threw around a lot of names that were kind of like superficial. And I think that what stuck with us is that it's not about the fame or the money. We have no expectations, but it's about the process is like not a good word, but like the love of the music or like the love in general, the inspiration that we bring. And it's become the perfect name. And it's affectionately the Poppers,
Yeah,
and like in my life, I've used the loving like tag for other things too. Because I mean, what else? Like, what's the most important thing? This is me speaking. This is not on behalf of the loving Poppers, but like what makes the world go round? Like I mean, in our intimate realities is love on all levels. What inspires us.
absolutely. Wow, Kelly.
It's a great song, and and what Kelly said is true. You know, the band was named before I joined up with them, so um, she would be able to tell. You know, her explanation was better than mine, but that's the song. It speaks for us too. It speaks for itself. It
Yeah,
speaks for
totally.
us, and you know, and in terms of trying to be stylistically in that
True.
fit ourselves into that lovers rock genre
Right.
and the Gregory Isaacs genre. It's just we stick to that. We cling to that. That's what we do. You
Totally.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and easy. Sorry to interrupt you. And Easy Star Records. I mean, roots reggae first, man. That's how it goes with them, and what a perfect fit. We're gonna talk about roots in just a bit, but I want to dive into the first time that we heard you guys. We're gonna really dive into your music here. Me and Blue always on New Music Friday or New Music Tuesday, whatever it was in the
Oh,
past. We always get in the car and he's got a Bose stereo sound system in his car, and it's like the best sound that you turn it all the way up and you'll hear anything shitty and everything good. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, like I heard something like Lem or Eric or somebody was telling me like check out Loving Poppers. I was like, okay, well, check them out. Never heard of you guys. Very rare for us not to hear of a band. We're pretty in tune with what's going on in the scene. But there's always something else. And you guys came up and I heard, I think Mr. Selector, and I was like, whoa, this is something fucking awesome. So I turned it. I said, Blue, we're gonna turn this music up, and we went into this world, this like really happy yet melancholy, yet haunting, yet positive, yet powerful, yet
oh,
ethereal, mystical thing that we've never heard before. And the most important thing is to be different, be something unique. Tell us about Ladders. Let's talk about this record.
um, I was saying earlier that we, as a band, like we're born and we're all separately bringing music to the table, our first couple albums. And this album, I would say we collectively worked on songs. We brought them to the table. Maybe me, Dan, and Jorge spawned ideas like more often, but I feel like we all tossed around um the feel and certain aspects, like changes or bass lines or little additions that are like so dear to us. Like one is Ladders, the what is it, the title track, like if I'm saying that correctly, of the album. Um there's this one part you'll hear the wave did crest like at the very end, like, like that was brought by our drummer. So I really feel like this album is our collective brainchild, and that's what makes it so special and so driving and unique, like you said. And thank you so much for recognizing us. And I really feel like everyone in the band is a genius. And also Budman has the is it called the pad? I call it the pad in my head, but there's
Sure.
electronic percussion that is like really part of, like, I don't know if it's lovers rock as a whole, but like what we're doing,
Mhm.
it's just like defines the sound, I feel like, in this time and day. And it's just so special. Um,
We don't call him Dubmaster Dan for nothing. I mean, he's a wizard, man.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
dude, Kelly, the things you're saying are almost magical in a
Stop.
sense. I can tell you're a very, very unique soul.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, thank
I,
you.
I can feel that from you, and I think we're going to get into more of maybe just Kelly here in a bit. Um, but you guys also just put out some other ultimately magical magic, the Ghosts of Ladders.
So the dub.
We
All right,
turned
so
that on in the car and were blown
here's
away.
here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you about the record ladders. I mean, it's a team. I mean, we have put together over the last 8 years a really solid team of people who make all of this happen. I mean, from our recording engineer, Sean Russell, to involving Victor Rice, our mixing engineer and dub engineer. Um, and then you have two people like Dub Master Dan Schneider, and Jorge Pizamente. I mean, these guys, every note, every part musically is handcrafted, like
Totally. Well said.
specifically crafted. And when we go into the studio, I do my percussion parts. We lay down a solid drum part. We lay down the bass. We lay down the bubble, and then it's like 20 keyboard parts and 20 different guitar parts, and we just layer it on. And then when the band just spends that much time crafting a song like that, and then you hand it over to, I like to call him the maestro. I was just in
Yeah.
Sao Paulo, Brazil, actually
Oh,
a few
no
months
way.
ago, and I was hanging out with Victor there. You know, I mean, when you hand him a product like that from the Loving Paupers, mixed by the wizard in the studio, Sean Russell,
Yeah.
to Victor Rice. I mean, look, man, you're getting. I mean, it's
Dub.
before Victor even touches it. You know, you have a very unique product, and then once he mixes it down, you have an even wilder thing. And then what he does, we like to call it. I mean, it's happened to us twice now. We call it like Christmas in July, where
Oh, that's so
where
cute.
where Vic is mixing the record, and
Totally.
we get the first mix, and then we send him notes, and then we get another mix, and then once we get a final mix from him, then he just systematically, I would call it, sends a dub mix and then another dub mix and then another dub mix and then another dub mix. And you're just like, oh man, this is
Hard.
it's is insane, man. And we get to listen to it all and we pick through everything to put out the best product for you, Alex,
The people
for
that love
everybody
you.
to put it, and we take our time, man, and we follow the process, and and honestly, we're talking about ladders, but man, we're gonna release another album one of these days soon, and it's gonna blow your mind even harder, man, because we just keep pumping it out, man. I mean, we're not gonna stop, dude. This is what we do.
It
In the
sounds like,
process,
go
we're not
ahead.
gonna stop. We're not gonna stop the process either. I mean, we're gonna keep going and doing what we're doing because as of now, I mean, the goal also, I mean, I will say, is to get Victor to come to the studio with us
Nice.
and
Cool.
really get into it with him too, and try to, that would be great, man. He's a great guy, man. We're I don't even know. I mean, I guess the word is blessed. I feel blessed to know him, to be able to work with him, and through him, that's how we got in with Lemon Eric through them because as we've said, Victor Rice is easy, in with Easy Star. He is
Oh
Easy
yeah.
Star, whatever,
Yeah.
however you want to say it. He's with those guys. So he's going to them and saying, "Dude, wait till you hear this record," and they're saying, "Dude, yes, let's hear it." And I mean,
Can
It's
I add
magic.
that the like when Vic is sending us mixes, like that's when the band fights. And I love it so much. Like Christmas in July, because like we're all like we all care so much and we want our input and we all value so much the others. And Vic too, if Vic is like, what about this? Note we nudge, like we listen. And it's just so magic. It is fun. It's
it's
the
a
most
lot of fun.
fun I can imagine, really.
That's when
Remember,
it
we were at
should
the
be.
we were
Yeah,
all
of course I
together
do.
at the.
Yes, this is my favorite. Yeah, of course. I know you know what you're saying. Yeah, at the beach. Yeah.
Do you remember? You remember when we got Mary back from Victor? We
Yes.
were all we were
Yeah.
all at the beach house together, and
On the
and
floor.
we like, yeah, we turned it up real loud. We come to this beach house, and we take the dining room table out of the dining room and set up the drums in the big hall there, and set up the band around it, and hopefully we get to do that again soon. That was a great time.
All right, so we're talking about ladders. We're talking about the ghost of ladders. We're talking about the legendary Victor Rice. You know, I told you guys about the first time we turned the knob, the faders all the way up in the car and heard ladders for the first time, and then we heard the ghost of ladders, and we were so fortunate over the years. We are dub fans. We love dub. It is our reggae music's secret weapon. We had the pleasure of chatting with the legendary Hopeton, aka Scientist, and
Dub
amongst
scientist, shout out to the dub scientist.
dude, among others. And the production on Ghost of Ladders, we turned it all the way up and we heard these things like like the drums, the vocals, the keys, anything. It just rang out the verb, the delay in the verb. Like it's almost delay and verb that I've never heard before. What's your favorite part about working with Victor and those magical moments that were happening for that record, the dub of Ladders?
I'm entranced by the Ghost of Ladders and like uh I just and separately my favorite thing about working with Victor is like he's a sweet person and I feel I can tell him how I feel and I'm not gonna like the playing field is even and that my opinion matters and he'll be honest with me back and and that's all I have to say about that.
You're just full of love, Kelly. Like the theme for Kelly Di Filippo is just love, man.
Uh,
Loving, love, love, family
that's so
together.
sweet.
That's
Thank
that's
you.
the vibe I'm getting from you, sweetheart. And that's a good vibe to get. That's a really good vibe to get. Budman, what do you think? With
And
Victor?
I mean, yeah, I mean, his echoes, his delays. I mean, it's his sound, man. I mean, he becomes part of the band, man. I mean, what
True.
he brings
Amen.
what he brings to the table is, you know, I mean, the man's winning Grammys in Brazil. I mean,
Right.
he's an expert. He's a pro
He's
from
yeah,
the,
obvious genius, if I can interject. Sorry.
from Version City, from Brooklyn, um, Daptone. I mean, from all these things, he's taking all of his knowledge and he's, you know, making a killer dub record, man. And we're all involved, and it's a very loving thing. Yeah, I mean, just talking to him, and I got to meet him, and it was really special. And just talking to him, like it's who he is, like
Mhm.
it's where his head is. It's everything that reggae and dub have to offer, and we're blessed to be able to do it um, with the team that we have in place. And I mean,
It's a
it's a
good
killer
team.
record, man. It's a killer record. You can go to paupershop.com right now, and you can pick up a copy of the vinyl record for yourself and go on your own sonic journey and
Yeah.
check it out, man. We have records for sale, man. There, that thanks to Chuck Wren and Jump Up Records. He helped us release the dub record on vinyl. And like I'm saying, man, it's everybody. We got a whole team involved, and everybody is a loving pauper. Everybody's in it. They love it, man. I mean, from the fans to the record labels to the engineers to the dub masters. I mean, we're just all in it together, and it's the product that we're putting out. We could be prouder, man.
I can't tell you how many times I've said it. The family is always better together, and you guys are saying it, and like it's almost coming out, like energy's coming out of you guys. Like it's kind of a rare thing to feel this much love and connection with your entire team. Unfortunately, it is. But it seems like you guys have that. And don't ever forget that you have that, because that's one of the most powerful things that any band can have beyond the music. If you connect, if you're all together on something, the artistic creations that come from that will be together and they will be right, you know?
I fully know what you're saying. As like we are working as a unit together accidentally. It's not on purpose.
Yeah.
It just happened. And I also want to say something about Victor Rice that I think is very impressive, or like impressive is the wrong word because I don't feel like he's doing it to impress you, but he's doing the dub mixes live and intuitively, like his own instrument. And like he's playing the Loving Paupers as an instrument.
Hmm.
And he's just like also, I mean, I think he's genius. And he is
Hey, we're
essential to the sound, like you said, Budman.
we're trying to do it live one day soon. Actually, there might be a cool announcement coming
Are
sometime in the next year or so
you
that
serious?
we might be able to do it together. Yeah, that would be that
No.
that that would be really special, right?
Are you
Oh,
serious?
I mean,
Are
who
you going here
knows?
I'm not serious.
or is he coming here?
Well,
Let's
we'll
go
see.
there. I want to go there.
Kelly, she's like,
But
I can't tell if she actually knows what it is or
No,
and if she does
no,
not know.
no, no.
Hey, look, I'll drop breadcrumbs around. We'll see who comes
Oh
with me. You know,
yeah.
No.
Those are
Are we
called little
going?
teasers.
I'll drop. We'll drop little teasers around every once in a while. We'll see what happens.
She's a teaser. That's the John Quan record. No, no, no. That's record,
Hey,
different.
we love John Quan. Shout out to our brother
Oh,
John Quan.
what?
Yeah, John Quan's sick, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
I became pretty good friends with John Quan and got to play a bunch of percussion on his last record. And he's a great friend and a great producer, great musician, great songwriter. Yeah,
Yeah.
big shout out to John Quan. Hey, yeah, listen to John Quan and Associates. Everybody out there, check it out, man. Good
Yeah.
record.
Jeez.
Yeah, guys. Okay, so let's recap here, man. We talked about DC and DC, Baltimore area and how wild of a place that is, especially to be making art in. We talked about the meaning of the Loving Paupers, to pick Gregory Isaacs tune like that, just to that's such a powerful thing, especially when you love roots reggae music. You're like, I'm gonna pick this, that just blew me away. We've talked about your records, lines, ladders, the ghost of ladders. Kelly, uh,
Don't
you,
forget the two EPs, the first EP and the
yeah,
second
that's
EP,
right.
Valuables. Don't forget the EPs,
Yeah,
bro.
man, absolutely. And like I said, we're just getting into really digging into your all's music. Ladders was our first hey, how you doing musically?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So I've been listening to the lines, it's really, really wild, especially because we didn't really know of you all. Like that's so crazy. And that shouldn't be. And that's a whole nother topic with social media and all that bullshit. But
We're working on it, man. We're working on it.
dude, I've been watching, your lyric music videos are fantastic. Your social media is starting to it's really pro stuff. So it's not easy to do that stuff. It really
Uh,
isn't. It takes a lot of work.
yeah.
We've learned that communication is key in that regard, and also that we just need to be a bit more vocal about promoting ourselves and trying to get out there as much as possible. I mean, we're still working on it every day, man. I mean, we're working on getting more shows. We're working on boosting our footprint on social media and working on promoting whatever we can about the band. Hopefully, people like it, man, and it seems like it's being received well. So hopefully, the rest will follow.
It will because y'all are different. You are different. You are something very unique that nobody has heard before. Everybody's heard roots reggae music. Everybody's heard the 60s pop. Everybody's heard this, everybody's heard that, but nobody ever is going to come close to what you guys are doing. It's a mystical, magical thing. So Kelly, I know we've been blabbing on, but it's one of those kind of interviews, man. Sometimes it's just like let's plug this, let's be pro that, da 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 da, and sometimes it's like this where we're just kicking it. And Blue's got some incense. I'm gonna hit some ganja real quick.
No way.
Oh man, I'm jelly.
Yeah,
Kelly,
here.
too.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, you got it. Perfect. So guess what? I've never done that on camera in my entire life. You guys get a
What?
special one. Kelly.
I don't touch the stuff.
Kelly, you're up to the mic.
Okay.
You have said a couple things. I hope to be undefinable. I love that. We love you. You know what you remind me of? Your voice is a young Holly Cook. And that we are such huge fans of Holly Cook.
We
And
love her.
a lot of what she writes is kind of along the lines of what you're writing. Uh, you know, uh, Difficult, melancholy, breakups, stuff like that. Kelly, tell us about you and what you do.
First of all, thank you for comparing me to Holly Cook. I have been enchanted by her vocals the second I heard her, which was after I joined the Poppers, but I did note a similarity and like, but it's like ethereal. I don't know. She's got this quality that's just gorgeous. And thank you. I love that. And singing for me at my peak, or like when I enjoy it the most, is effortless.
Yeah.
And it is like my calling, you know, since I've been a child, producing this, I'd say, authentic sound that I haven't heard very often, but like am hearing now more and more in popular music, is like my most highest pleasure. Like when I sound my best, that's when I feel like I'm doing my life's work. And then that's coupled by the message, which is love is the most powerful force in the universe, especially if we're like in a transient state of fighting. And that's like very radical, like your shirt, you know.
Mhm.
Um, like Martin Luther King has his most famous phrase, I think, is like, only light can banish the dark, to paraphrase. And that's
Oh,
very big for me, is um, understanding and love are,
More powerful.
yeah, it's just
yeah.
like it's gonna conquer, or it's gonna change most quickly or fervently what's the conflict at hand. But people don't want to hear that because um, we want to stand up and fight for our brothers. You know, like we want to say like you wronged someone that I love, and so therefore I'm mad at you. But and I actually don't know what to say past that. But when I describe myself, I think I am very romantic, like in all senses of the term, like not like necessarily love romantic, but like, or like romance romantic, but like I'm sunset romantic. I'm like bubbling creek romantic. I'm like, well, basically, I'm present moment, ordinary moment. Everything is sacred romantic. And when I'm
Love it.
writing music, it is always ordinary and it all comes at once. I mean, I'm now learning how to write like kind of as another, I'm imagining myself as another person or another scenario. And that's cool too, because I was limited by like being romantic, or like as being my own only perspective as myself, because I'm a very small perspective really. Um,
Look at Mr. Selector, Rashomon style of storytelling. You just said it. Uh, you talk about the perspective. You sing from the perspective of the person who wants the Mr. Selector, the DJ, to play their song, but then you go back and you talk about the perspective of somebody like me or like Budman, as or Blue as the DJ that is listening to that person and
right.
say this is why, and we're getting chill.
I love that. Whatever this is, I love
Oh
so
man,
much.
we're getting chill, baby. We're getting chill. It's late night with the poppers.
You know what's so funny is that song was primarily written by Dan and Jorge, and I have to like um role play. What's that one like? Oh, I have to method act that song. But I think that's important, and an amazing song because it has both perspectives and it gives the listener both perspectives.
And that is super important. Like the best songwriting and the best music really like has this appeal where like anybody can create their own scenario at it. Anybody can relate to what you're talking about, even though your specific story may be pretty niche and related to your world and experience that you're having. But when you
Totally.
can write something that is everybody's like, man, okay, this is about my life. I can relate
Right.
this. That's relatability is so huge when people listen to music too.
It's like, it's so huge. It's like kind of the only thing. You know what I'm saying?
Kelly,
I love it.
It's like,
Kelly, yeah, Kelly's one of a kind. I mean,
One of a
what
kind.
you're
um,
bringing, what you're bringing is one of a kind. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We're glad we get to hear it.
thank you.
Hey Kelly, one more thing. What's the most recent like verse or idea or anything that you have written? Like what's come to your mind recently that you wanted to write about? Maybe you wrote a couple lines in your little songbook.
Oh my God,
Uh,
that's so funny. I'll just show it to you.
Show it to
Oh
us.
wow, oh wow.
No, I've sent this to the band. I won't get into it because it's so small, but I'd say my favorite is
Uh-oh.
wait, no, you've heard it. You've heard it. Oh my gosh, it's undefinable. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, it's undefinable.
No way. We were just talking about you
Yeah.
saying you want to be undefinable.
I hope the poppers like it, but it might be too slow for the poppers, honestly.
I think
Oh, try me,
that sounds
Okay,
like
I'll
a
send it.
challenge.
try me. Hey, I got a few shout outs and a callback or two. I mean, you were saying shout out to Holly Cook.
Yeah.
Um, man, here's a little callback. I mean, big shout out to Thievery Corporation, our friends in Thievery Corporation,
Oh yeah.
Jeff Franca, and all the guys in Thievery Corporation. They used to let me spin in the
18th Street Lounge.
at the reggae. I used to spin in the reggae. Sorry, the jazz bar, the jazz lounge at 18th Street Lounge. We would have a
Yep.
live jazz band, the Davante McCoy Quintet, and then I would trade sets with them. And man, when I heard Holly Cook, man, I would give it to the people, man. I would spin that Holly Cook, and oh man, she's magical. And then
Nice.
just last summer or the end of last summer, we got to play with Holly Cook
Get out of here.
at a big shout out to our good friends, the Supernova International Ska Festival coming up
Ooh.
this September in Fort Monroe, Virginia. Man, get your butts there, everybody. I mean, the lineup is killer this year, but we got to play with Holly Cook. What we Holly headlined on Saturday night, and we played the Sunday morning set. But the whole band was there, and we got to see and meet Holly and her band, and they were great, man. And
Blue especially. I mean, when I showed him Holly Cook for the first time, he was just fell in love, and I've fallen back in love with Holly because she hadn't done anything for so long until Happy Hour
yeah, man,
released, and just magical. And we're this close, guy world. We're this close to getting Holly.
No.
We're this close to getting Holly on the program. We've talked with
she's great, man.
Eric and Lem. They have connections. By the way, this whole game we play in the music business is also about your networking and the friends that you make
Yeah, man.
because they turn into magical things. You never know what person's going to help you here or help you there. That's why it's so important to be such a good loving person.
Listen, you were just talking to Kelly and asking her inspiration and everything. Let me just say also that Lines was voted the number one album to make love to. I don't know if you all knew that. Oh
Ooh.
yeah, oh yeah,
I know.
and I don't know. I think it was on Twitter or something or X or whatever they call
No.
it. But listen, I
David.
mean, we're playing the trancey music, and then you hear Kelly's voice on top of that, and it just gets you, man. I mean,
It
Kelly
works.
is she's special like that, and we love it. Yeah, we're the loving paupers. Hey, hey, girl.
Hey, we love you guys. If you guys are just tuning in, it's late night here at the Simmer Down Radio Show from home. I'm DJ Crowley alongside your boy Blue. We got Kelly, we got Budman in the house. Talking about the 18th Street Lounge. I was so fortunate to go there before it closed, and I think it has reopened back up. We're
It's
such
reopened over by the convention center. I think over off 11th,
mm,
somewhere around there by the convention center. But yeah, they're still doing their thing. Hey, shout out to DJ Bonkers. Yeah, thank you, bud, for giving me my gig there, man. Love you, Matt. Thanks, buddy.
dude, shout outs all around. I
Hey,
know
man, I love all those DC cats, man. I love everybody. Come on, man.
Robbie Myers is our dude, man. He's been so amazing to us. We've actually built an actual friendship with him over the past couple of years. We've been Thievery fans for 20 years, but the other night it was crazy. He looked at me like he's a wild one. He's groovy, man. That's how he goes. He is groovy. He's been in this business for a long time. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. And he looked at me and we were leaving. He was getting back on the bus and he goes, I'm so happy that you are now you guys are now an official part of this little weird little thievery family. So remember that
Oh, man.
your family, and you
There-
guys are now family as well. Because the family is always better together. That's what we keep saying. Kelly knows what's up. Budman knows what's up. I want to get through a few more questions here, and then we're going to get you out of here. It has been such a pleasure chatting with you guys. This is probably the most unique interview we've ever done. Everyone's gonna
oh
be
man.
It's
everyone's gonna
fun.
be different, man. And some of the things you guys are saying are really, really out there and really, really fucking right. You know what I mean? So big up to you
Cool.
guys.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, what is coming up? Tell everybody out there. Let's plug some shit. We got to plug some stuff. That's part of it because everybody's got to know where you're going to be playing, what you're going to be doing, what guitar you're going to be playing, the Yamaha, the keyboard.
Hey, we're working on it, man. We're working on lots of things, man. Um we'll have a DC show coming up. We're trying really hard to get to New York City. I mean, we're a bunch of busy musicians. Honestly, when it comes down to it, working on putting together some really special pauper shows, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more to say coming up about that. But for now, I mean, we're just pumping our vinyl and working on new tunes, man. I mean, that's what it is, man. We're check out our sorry, the Loving Paupers shop, and you know we're we're just out here, man. We're trying to get the music to the people. Got lots of good vinyl for all the audiophiles out there, and we're pumping it like that. I mean, we're working all the time trying to get some cool shows and get out there for everybody. And yeah, definitely some things in the works, man. We want to get to New York City sometime this year. We just played in Philadelphia for the first time.
Where'd you play
A
in
few
Philly? Ardmore?
we played at the City Winery actually
Oh, City Winery.
with Westbound Train. It was a beautiful night, man. It
Wicked
was a
cool.
great time. And we just played a private party. We do private parties. We're trying to play your beach party, man. We're trying to play your pool party. Let's hang out, man.
We
Let's
got we got a pool. Lovingpoppers.com. Is that what it is?
uh yes.
And at the Loving Poppers on Facebook, Instagram, something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir. Yeah.
Make sure everybody checks this out, man. This band is wicked cool. They're wicked full of love. Love, love, love. It's in the name. The Loving Poppers, man. The roots reggae is so important. Everything that you guys are doing, it seems really right. And I think, as I said in the beginning of the interview, what Jorge said, if you don't like us in the first 5 minutes, you're not going to like us. We do our
Hey, look,
thing.
man.
We stay in our
Look,
lane.
we got a new record out on Easy Star Records. we're super proud of it. The dub record just dropped. Our buddy Jump Up Records helped us put that out. And honestly, I don't know about you, Kelly, but I'm I'm loving all these new tunes, and I'm even more excited for what we have coming up in the future, man, because our next record is gonna blow you all away even harder, man. I mean, we're working on it already, man. We're in it, man. We're feeling it. We really are.
No, just kidding.
I think I caught you guys at a really interesting time. Like something really magical is about to happen with you guys, I think, because of who you guys are. I can feel your energy from here. It's something special. Just like when we heard the music for the first time, we just went into
It's
this place,
awesome.
this
That's
magical
all I
new
want to
place.
hear.
That's
That's
all
my
you. That's it.
favorite thing I want to hear.
That's it, man.
Hey,
Okay,
look,
so go
hopefully
ahead.
the words I hopefully the words I said tonight make sense. I've been sitting on the beach for about 10 hours today, so I'm feeling a little sandy, but listen, man, I love it, man. I just want you all to listen to the records, man. I want you to listen to them as much as I do, man, because I listen to them a lot, and I love I love what we're doing. It's my favorite stuff, and I love what Kelly's doing, and keep doing it, girl. We need it, you know. Everybody needs it, and you know, it's I'm super glad that you guys had us on the show, and hopefully people check us out. More people check us out. Just keep listening to the records, man.
Keep making music. How
Take a
about
drink
that?
of my let me take a drink of my beverage up near the camera for the
Oh yeah, see,
Beatles.
that's the shout out that everybody needs right there. There you go, Kelly. There you go. Give it to them.
Beatles. We're going to get just a little bit crazier and deeper here, real quick, and then we're going to get to our
Ready?
last question. So,
Oh,
ladders, ups and downs, lines, they go up and
Oh my
down, they
gosh.
go in all these different directions. Why is that such a big theme with you guys? Is it about your experiences with ups and downs in life? Is it a holistic feeling of the power of ups and downs?
Oh, I
Tell
love
us
that.
about the ups and downs and why that is part of the Loving Paupers.
Jorge was
um,
in love with both the name lines and ladders. I mean, I think what won me over for lines was that it's like part of string theory and that lines are such an intricate part. Like lines, the lyrics are lines. And that's how what I meant in the song when I was saying the lines are on the table. Because we're all like, look, we're all reading the lines.
Mm.
And then I know that the L, like he liked that the lines and ladders were an alliteration, and that ladders, what, like really, I really feel Jorge named both albums, and that Ups and Downs was a big part of ladders. I liked ladders because like I like the up and down because there's no limit, there's no ceiling or floor to in ladders what we're talking about, like, and also I think as far as you go down, you can also go up that same level up. But
don't you need someone who can hold your ladder?
Yeah. Uh,
I agreed to the name ladder, like I was like, cool,
but Kelly, think about this though, honey. Like, you're what do you write about? You know,
True.
it's the ups and downs. It's
It
the
is, yeah.
merry-go-round of life, and I've always my dad always would say something, and he'd be like, life's a roller coaster. It goes up and it goes down. It goes all around. It goes in circles, it
True.
goes in spirals, it can go in a corkscrew, but it will eventually always come back up. And to name that this continuation, this discography of this up and down feeling, it's a big deal. Like ups and downs are a part of life. Without the ups, we wouldn't have those feelings that are like, wow, this is
It's true.
amazing. Without those downs, we wouldn't learn, you know?
I think that's really something that is true though too. I mean, it's about the band, you know, where lots of people write music that they, you know, they think people want to hear, or that they, you know, some kind of formula or some kind of commercial way of doing it. Like we're just writing about real, you know, we're writing about real things. And the way that Kelly and Jorge write these songs, you know, it's like we're not just trying to write a catchy hook and not say anything, you know, like we're it's real, man. We're trying to say something to these people, you know. We're releasing this music and it's from our collective heart, and it's something, you know. We're saying something to somebody,
Damn
and
straight.
it's
You almost can't help it.
and
Like,
that's what's real, you know. It's about the ups, and you know, whether we are trying to purposefully, like you know, I mean, that's your take on it. You say lines that go up, ladders that go up and down. Okay, that's the way you interpret it, and that's what art is, you know, for you to interpret.
Mhm.
And whether, you know, if that's how it makes you feel, you know, you listen to our songs and they're about ups and downs or highs and lows, or you know, deep conversation or meaningful, you know, deep,
Real shit.
meaningful,
Real
real
shit.
shit. You know, it's like
Yeah, real shit. Yeah. Yeah.
that's, hey, look, man, you know, that's my favorite thing about music and art. You know, not just some, oh wow, that's cool. You know, there's something that really makes you think about something. You know, or something that really makes you feel something. And I feel that. I think that's why people connect with the band as much as they do. It's funny for me too. I mean, I play in the Loving Paupers. These are some of my best friends, and honestly, it's some of my favorite music out there. I mean, I listen to it all the time.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I feel a connection with it pretty deeply,
If you
and
feel
hope
it, go ahead. Go
and
ahead.
I hope you do too, man. I hope you do too. That's all.
We
I mean,
we felt it. And when I call some music can you feel it music, that's in our top of all time bands is when you can feel it. Some people and artists that we're gonna stay with and always have your back forever because we felt your music. You know what I mean? You have to feel it. If you don't feel it, it's shitty, trash. You got to
if you
feel it,
can
dude.
listen, if you can listen to Kelly's amazing voice and not feel it, then I don't know. You might need to go see a doctor, man.
The next band's in 45 minutes.
You might need to go see a doctor. There might be something wrong with you, bro.
oh,
That's right. Guys, it's been such a pleasure to get to know you guys a little bit more. I think this is the beginning of a wonderful friendship. Me and Blue love you, and there's so many people out there. I don't call them fans; I call them family. Once you love people, you know that are playing your favorite music and your favorite song and all that. That's family. That's not a fan. And this whole interview or conversation has been centered around just love and being together and the family. And that is the most important thing. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, getting to know you guys. It's been a wild day, but we did it. Budman, Kelly, keep doing what you're doing. Tell Jorge and everybody else that we love them. And everybody gets this last question. But before that, it's got to plug it at the Loving Paupers,
Yep.
thelovingpaupers.com, Paupers Shop to get the vinyl. Vinyl is final. Empress Sativa told us that. And man, vinyl is, we will be getting uh, ladders and the ghost of ladders and who else, you know, maybe undefinable, who knows, in the
oh,
Hey, man.
future. And here we go. We're going to be,
Buy
but
our records. Buy our
yeah,
records, and we'll make more records. That's
eh,
how it goes, dude.
buy records, vinyl, support artists. It's the most important fucking thing in the world. If you don't support them, then the best stuff is never going to get to the top.
Hey,
Uh,
look, man. I mean, we're in. let me say one more thing to you and your listeners. And look, man, I mean, I'd say what's really important to the band is what we've done and what we plan to do, and we're just going to keep going, man. We're going to keep making records. I mean, whether we have the big shows, who knows? Whether we make it big in some way and someday and doing whatever, we don't, who knows? One thing that we know is that we're going to keep making these records for you people, and we're going to keep doing it the way we do it, and we're not going to stop. And, we're not we're not sorry. We're gonna keep going, man. We're gonna
I'm sorry. No, no. Can I
we're
say
gonna
something to the listeners too?
Absolutely.
I think that whatever you're going through is perfectly tailored to your growth, and that the things that you find that help you um, are here to make your life beautiful. And that's the whole point, is just to enjoy it.
Spoken once again from Kelly and Budman.
love you, Kelly.
Ladies
That
and
was great.
ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute blast. We're gonna keep loving the Poppers as long as you guys keep
I love that.
rocking and putting out that physical
Hit my
copy, man.
music.
That physical copy. I wish we had it so we could be like, boom, but we will. It's on our
Maybe I
list.
have it.
It's on.
I have it. Oh, I have just regular ladders.
Oh, it's so
Hit,
beautiful. We'll be getting both of those. But hey, guys, we do have
hit
to get
my
out of here.
music, dude.
We do have to get out of here. Last question. Budman, we'll start with you. What does reggae mean to you?
Oh no.
Oh man, I mean, reggae. What does it mean to me? It's my life, man. I don't know. It's beautiful music. It's the rhythm of life. It's the beat that we walk to. It's the birds singing. It's the melodies. It's everything to me, man. I mean, I love reggae music, and it's a giant part of my life. If it was up to me, I'd play it all, play it loud I just walk around with a sound system attached to my back, just blasting reggae beats, man. I don't know. I
Right in
want
people's
everybody to hear
face.
it. I just want everybody to hear it. I feel it deeply, and I love reggae music, and I'm just happy that I got to meet all these beautiful friends, and we get to make all this beautiful music together, man. And it's what I love to do, and I'm glad people love it too. So
Well said, Budman. To Kelly, what does reggae mean to you?
Positive collective that focuses on love and protection and the next level up and peace. And it helps us to find comfort within ourselves and within each other.
Beautiful.
dude, I got one for you before we go too. I worked with the Whalers last week.
Oh,
Cool.
I
word.
I do sound as well. I do all kinds of things with music, and we set up a giant sound system. And the Whalers came to Baltimore, the original Whalers, and they were in support of their, what was it, like the 40th anniversary of Legend or something.
Mhm.
Cool.
So the Whalers roll up, and we everybody knows exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna play Bob Marley Legend, man. They're gonna play some of the, and you're like, oh yeah, everybody knows these songs, and they roll into town, and they're gonna do their thing, and they hit the stage, and I got the chills right now, man. You think you know what they're gonna do, and they just blast you with the best reggae music that has ever been, that everybody knows every word, everybody waiting on every note, and it's just like, what's coming, and they still hit you with it. And that's reggae music, man. You still like, oh man, it's a feeling, man.
Feel
Tell
first. Feel first. You got to feel it. If you don't feel it, fuck it. If your family's not better together, fuck it. You're not gonna do it. You gotta. It's all
That's
about the
that's
love.
it was amazing, man. I love all reggae music, but yeah, man, Even when you know what's coming, it still hits you, and you
Feel no pain.
just yeah, blasts you, man. Transported right to the beach, man. Yeah, I spent 10 hours on the beach today. It was amazing.
Budman, Kelly, the Loving Paupers, we finally meet. What a cool late night, spooky, ethereal, wild style. Pause here, pause there, smoke there, have a cocktail. Why not? It's the Loving fucking Paupers. Check them out. We love you guys, and we always got your back. Remember that, okay?
Thank you. It was so fun.
I work so hard